So we can learn a lot about the shoreline of the Hudson River. One of the things is, of course, lines made by the tide. And what's going to happen is that the tide is going to move. Usually the organic material is going to be the easiest to see. So organic material is stuff that used to be living, like plant material, maybe animal material, but primarily in this case is going to be plant material. So as I turn around, you can kind of see that there's a curve and there's some leaves in it. There's sort of another line. It also has some leaves in it as you kind of curve around the shoreline. You could sort of see that delineation close to the giant stump from that tree over there. And then as we get up here, we're getting into a whole lot of stuff. And it's going to tell us a little bit about, number one, how the area is used, right? So this is primarily a recreation space. So unfortunately, because it's recreation, we're going to find litter, right? So we're not particularly happy about that, but it's going to happen. And it either happened right here, or it may have been carried down, and when the tide went out, it was left behind. So we're going to find a lot of that debris in here, but we're also going to find a lot of organic matter. So this particular piece of driftwood, right? So there's some rather large pieces of driftwood, and there may be some pieces that don't exactly look like they're part of a tree anymore. They could have been pilings from an old pier that traveled down with the flow of the water. So we've got these pieces, larger pieces of wood. We've definitely got some aquatic plant material, right? So, and this aquatic plant material, once the tide goes out, sometimes gets trapped on the other side of these log pieces. It's interesting because that material is going to give us a little idea of what's in the water as far as plants go. And some of those plants are good, and some of them may be invasive species. So when we're looking at the shoreline, we can get a good idea of sort of what organic matter is in the water and what might be left behind.